Her t-shirt says basketball is life, and soon women may earn a living playing hoops in Indiana.
Very excited that we're going to be getting a franchise, and I hope that we will support it so it will become a reality.
When I grow up, I want to be a basketball player.
How about that? A quarter of a century later, the game of women's basketball has seen a significant surge in popularity in the state of Indiana. Hoosiers are now growing up in a world where the WNBA not only survived here, but thrived. In this week's Wishtory, we show you how basketball excitement was running hot and building up into a fever across the state.
WNBA rally 2799, 5 p.m.
Because we need to start practicing our high fives. So turn and start high-fiving somebody because we have a lot to high-five about.
The end of the millennium, and Indianapolis is excited.
No, we don't have our players yet. That's coming very soon. But we've got to have practice.
They didn't have a name either yet, but Herb Simon, who also owned the Indiana Pacers, did have 4,500 of the 5,500 tickets sold in order to land a WNBA expansion team.
You know, when they say on the PA in 50 states it's just basketball, but this is Indiana. The sport of basketball courses through the veins of people in Indiana and Indianapolis, and you feel that.
The Pacers are down 3-1 now.
Kimberly Harms was Wish TV's weekend sports anchor and one of the few women in that position in the state.
I was ecstatic because I saw all these girls and women who had worked so hard at the sport they love, but they couldn't take it beyond college, really. So the fact that they were able to get paid, although very little compared to other professional sports, was just so exciting. And, you know, being one of the first female broadcasters, I felt an affinity with them.
Arriving at Wish just a year before, Harms had previously been the color commentator for the Houston Comets in their inaugural season.
I felt like a sisterhood. I felt like, you know, I went in the locker room and I was excited with them and I couldn't wait to hear what they had to say about the game. And they were intelligent women that were very talented. And for the first time, in many cases, were finally being heard.
All my life, I've been living up to this moment right here.
LaToya Small works as an overnight stock clerk at a Sam's Club in Richmond, Virginia.
You know, the nerves are before you get here.
But back on the home court, there was still a team that needed to be built.
And the night before the tryout, your stomach has all kind of butterflies.
This weekend, she's one of 82 women from around the world looking for a spot on the Indiana Fever roster.
And it's one of those things where if you don't try it, you'll always kick yourself and say, well, what if I had?
In those early days of the WNBA, recruiting was a bit more grassroots and had less of the strategic scouting that was the NBA norm.
In many ways, it was like American Idol. You know, people came, some had talent, some didn't. Some had enthusiasm, hard work ethic, some had a reputation, some didn't. So it was a chance for those unknowns to all of a sudden leap to the top, while yet having those veterans show what they had.
And Kimberly says the Fever was smart in drafting Stephanie White McCarty, a home state hero who had just led Purdue to a national championship.
She's just a kind, genuine person. She was always very much a student of the game. She had innate vision of the court and very selfless. You know, she'd pass the ball, she would help her teammates, and when they were in the huddle, you'd see her talking almost as much as the coach, and the players respected her.
Okay, now they're a team. But what about a name?
As the flag on the logo went down, enthusiasm for the newly named team went up.
Awesome. Nothing like hot. Everybody's paying attention. Fever was definitely an awesome name.
We got the fever!
I think it's something that really sets apart Indiana basketball is their fever for the sport, and I think that it's great and it's going to go a long way.
I remember thinking, oh, that's cool, the fever for basketball.
It seems the fever is rapidly spreading. The Pacers home court gift shop has already sold several Fever t-shirts. While you can wear those now, you'll have to wait a few months to see the players in action.
Not an athlete herself, Kimberly always loved the nuance of sports, especially of basketball.
Like John Wooden once said that the best basketball he had ever seen was women's basketball because they played the fundamentals so well.
2, 3, fever!
You're not seeing a lot of above the rim, which is exciting and fun in the NBA, but you truly want to watch the fundamentals and see ball movement away from the ball and with the ball, assists, penetration off the dribble, all that kind of thing. That's the WNBA.
The dream of hundreds of little girls started to take shape today as the members of the Indiana Fever posed for pictures in their new uniforms and signed autographs.
It's been such a long off season, but to finally be here and to meet the rest of our teammates and to finally start on the court stuff, it's going to be a good feeling. I think it's going to be a relief.
Just a year later, the Indiana Fever added to their star power, drafting Tamika Catchings.
Catchings made an immediate impact with her scrappy play and is ranked third in the league in scoring with an average of 18 points per game. She's like a jackhammer, clearing out debris, making way for construction of a new team with a new attitude that's learning to follow by her example.
Wherever the ball is, that's where I'm trying to be. So if I have to dive on the floor to get it, I'm going to dive on the floor. And if a player comes in, that's where I get a lot of my fouls, trying to get the ball. So I just have a knack for the ball.
So you don't mind the bumps and bruises?
I don't mind them. Get in the cold whirlpool.
Some of the seasons had wins and titles, and others, well, there's always next year. But that's how it goes with any team in any sport. For many fans, it was just enough to have heroes to look up to on the court, women that finally just got the chance.
I wanted to see them prove the naysayers wrong, and I wanted to see them just shine in their moment and just show people what women's athletics could be.
Kimberly Harms, Wish TV, Sports 8.
Last year, Caitlin Clark famously joined the Fever, adding her star power to a team with a strong history. If you'd like to see more early Fever coverage or early stories about Tamika Catchings, just scan that QR code on your screen. We'll take you to our website, wishtv.com, where you can find all these stories and much more.